everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. So earlier today I got my first order from the new 2023 to 2024 annual catalog. I should get my catalogs middle to the end of next week. I'm hoping more towards the middle. I had been hoping that it would be the beginning of next week, even the end of this, but they haven't shipped yet. At least I haven't got the shipping notification. So, cross your fingers if you're expecting one from me. I got up at 2, well, I stayed up. I set my alarm for 1:45 and I was going to get up so I would be up at the crack of 2 a.m. Is that something? To place my order because that's when we could order them. And I was up and I did, but apparently it doesn't matter how early you get up because that's not how they do the line. So even though I was one of the first people to get the order in, it's not how they do it. So they will be up, and then I got the first part of the order, so that unboxing video is up, and so you can see all of the new stuff that was in my first box, and then even some old stuff that I ordered by mistake, because when it's the middle of the night and I really wanted coffee, but bad mistake, you don't drink coffee right at 2 a.m. no matter how bad you want it. That video is up, and then traditionally I do like the stamp that I most want to stamp with, and I love the stamp set that I used. I love it, love it, love it. And as long as it stays in stock, it will be our May Card Club stuff, unless there's a stock issue with any of it. But I have more stuff coming tomorrow, and then my daughter is coming to stamp with me tomorrow. At least that's the current plan. So instead of the way I kind of normally do it, I went ahead and I did my first try it class. So you're going to see that. So this project will be my try it class. I have opened the registration up. It's going to be a little bit different. The class itself isn't going to be different, but it's going to be highly rushed. And so for my Mother's Day present, I asked my daughter and Jamie for my gift to be that they come over for Mother's Day and help cut paper, because we leave the country on the morning of the 12th. And that means the day of the 11th, we need to be packing and doing all the things that you do, cleaning and like not working. At least as mom, I don't want to be working. So I want this class out the door on the 10th, and I can't order the majority of this stuff until, I don't know, the 2nd or 3rd, whatever day of May we can order. So I'm going to do the first project. I'll show you the first project. I'll explain about the class. It normally fills, but normally it does. Like normally I not take my time, but I order this stuff and then I design the projects. I'm going to try to design them in my head, but I want you to see that this one came from nowhere. Like I got this stuff today. I pulled it out of the box and I'm like, well, what one will I go with? And I went with the Cheerful Daisies suite. And so I'm going to show you the paper that I didn't use. So when you do the try it class, I'll explain a little bit what it is after I'm going to put this down. When you get the class, you get to see, you try everything. That's where I got the name from. And I've been doing this now for a hot minute. I started it the year of the pandemic because it was the first class I used up stuff because I bought a lot of stuff to do in-person classes and they didn't happen. And so it was to use up stuff. Now I do it for new stuff. So I didn't use that piece there. And then I did not use this piece here. But if you do the try it, you will have all of the other pieces, but then in class, I show you all the pieces. If you do the class, it's online. 2 ways to do it. One, you get the packet. So if you're in the US, I highly recommend that you get it because it always is way better to have this stuff and make the card. If you're overseas, I can't send you stuff, so you can do it and just get the PDF and you get the PDF, and every card has a video, usually 2 projects per video. So it comes with a PDF. Most of my classes do not because I don't like making them, but my daughter does do them for me for this class. So you can see, you can keep this forever. About half of them will be fun folds and half of them will be a template. This card here, it's kind of I don't know if it's a fun fold or if it's a template. It's not a difficult fun fold. It is, I guess it's kind of a fun fold. And I make it up out of my head, but it will have a playlist. So if you keep this, and you can put it in a book program or something, if you keep this, you always have access to the videos forever. There's no stamping. You can add sentiments at the end of the class when you're done with your 12 cards if you want, or you can about half of you, I think, give them away, and about half of you keep them. But hit that. This is the last one that we did. So all the fun folds, all the measurements, all the written instructions. So you can do it either way that you want. It's storming here. Hopefully I don't lose power, which I could keep going, but I would lose my lights, and it's very dark outside. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's dark. So it includes the PDF. It includes the supplies to make the cards. You don't need any inks. You'll need a paper trimmer that has some kind of a scoring thing. Everything is die cut. So I base it off of the sweets. We start from there. So that's usually about 12. So this one will be the Cheerful Daisies. I do use this fun little die that's connected together, and then I'm going to use this one. So it will already be run through you, and then usually at the end of the class, I will take 2 or 3 of the cards. I will do it at the end of the class, which will be in June by the time you see them. And I, instead of just using the dies, I will add some stamping at some point, some way to the cards to show you if you fell in love with it, and you want to get it, then you can. I like to get the class out as early as possible to you because, as the name implies, you will get to see all of the embellishments, most all of the ribbon. Now, like with end colors, we might not use all of the end colors, but you'll see it. Like this is the new Pebble the Path. I knew it was Pebble. I couldn't remember the second part of the name. It's going to take a minute to get the new colors, but this is the Pebbled Path, and it is the textured ribbon. So if we don't use all 5 colors, you at least know what the textured ribbon looks like. And then these are the new in color dots. And there were, if you saw my unboxing video, I couldn't tell if there was another color under there. It's the Pebbled Path. So let's do this one. Now this video will have a full instruction video if you do the class. So on this one, I'm not going to give full instructions because I don't need to. So your packet comes like this. They're all stacked up. They go in the order that we go. I've gotten so much better since the first days because I do it 3 times a year. This is the new wheat. I don't know the W that goes with wheat, wild wheat, something wheat. So this is cut to be the back of your card. And then look how pretty this paper is. So there's, and if you didn't watch my unboxing, I love these colors, and I apologize to you if you have seen the in colors and you don't think they're your colors. I love them. So you're gonna put this piece here. And if you think it's too heavy on the daisies, then feel free to flip one of them over. That one goes there. And then we have this long piece that's gonna go here. You're gonna need something to score however you like to score. Of course, I like our trimmer and score, and I'm gonna score both ends at 3.5. So the PDF has all of the measurements, so you can keep it, and then you can go back and recreate this card. So the members of my team, they always have all of the access to my online parts of my classes for free. It's just I house it on my Facebook page. So every time I do a class, I just post all of the classes on there. So they always have that. But for this class, they can always get the supplies. So they get the whole class for free. So if you want to get it for free, then you sign up to be on my team, and then you can do it for free. Well, there's shadows. So I'm going to fold this over. I highly recommend that you have a bone folder because when you're doing a lot of fun folds, I just think you need a bone folder anyways because look how much nicer that is. So just fold these over just like that. And you can ask me for the measurements. I didn't measure. I just made this card up. So there's no measurements yet. I tend to write them all down. And then the nice thing about this packet, well, my daughter can buy a couple of packets of this, but my husband can at least start cutting some of this stuff because I can get some 12 by 12. I can get as many pieces of this as I can for him to start cutting. So I've got this piece here, and I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to use for this card, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. You'll need all of the adhesives, the ones that you like to use, but a strong one for this. And I'm impatient, so while this is strong, you could use tear and tape. This is strong, but you don't want to wait for it to dry. So I'm going to put a strip of this, because this is strong, the Seal Plus. You don't have to, I love this paper. I could wallpaper my office in it. And I'm just gonna lay this on here, just like that. And flip this over, and then I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna fold this over and fold that over, but I didn't tape that. If you notice that, that was not adhered. This is cut with a little bit bigger of a border, and I often do this, and then because when I create a card, I'm not really quite sure what I'm gonna do. And then my husband's like, do you want this to have this big of a border or this big of a border? And then we decide which. And sometimes it depends on the best use of the paper. So you have this. So now we're gonna have these fun little things here, like this. And then I'm gonna take this little piece of white right here, so you have something to sign. And it goes in just like that. I thought maybe I cut that second piece wrong. Normally I like to cut my filming one as I do my first one, but with this I wasn't quite even sure it was gonna work. So slide this in between there. And we're gonna come over here. Now it's really important with this one. I love this piece of paper. Love it, love it, love it. And I was tempted to use the pebbled path. That's it, right? Pebbled Point, I think, is a golf place. So just put your adhesive here and here, and you're gonna see why in a minute. So just put this in here. And then I'm going to take this and stick it here. And again, here and here. And the reason I'm doing it on both is because it could make a difference where you wanna stick your ribbon. And you don't need a ton of the Seal Plus because it holds just fine. But now you have two places in case one of them you messed up and you put it in the middle, because we're gonna add our ribbon at the end. But now we have two slots, so you can slide it through either slot. Then we have some more of this paper. Now, if you were just making this card and it wasn't for Try It class, you could put some stamping in here. You could, there's the thunder. You could put one of the daisies here. You could put a daisy here. But look, I've left these fun little places here because I want to be able to see. I need to fold that down now that I've got my white paper in there. See, I'll trim that a fraction of an inch when he does that. Now you can see this really pretty paper that coordinates with this. This is why I went with the wheat and not the pebbled path. I should make a cheat sheet and put it up here when we start new colors. So I'm just gonna take this. Oh, that's pretty too. That has the peacock. Peacock was one of the colors. I didn't realize how much I loved it until we didn't have it. And then when we brought it back and I found that refill and I started using it in the last couple of weeks, I'm like, yeah, I loved the peacock. And look at this. Again, I could wallpaper. Hopefully that's a siren and not the tornado sirens. But there's sirens going off right now. And then I'm gonna open this one. That's just a siren, not a tornado one. I'd hate to have to stop filming in the middle of my video for the tornado. So we have this, like this. Now I'm going to take, when you get the die cuts from me, they're already die cut. So there'll be punches in your class. There'll be some of the new folders. There'll be just an assortment. I try to give you as many things. I mean, I don't want the cards to be tacky, so it has to match what we're using. And we also have to have time to physically cut out all of your stuff. So this is cut out of the new pebbled. I'm not going to do this. I'll show you how I did it at the end, but it goes right here. If I do it now, it will stick to the card. But I'll show you the trick on how to get that in here. So you're going to close this and close this. And then just come back over here and make sure all this with your handy bone folder folds. Now you will have a piece of the pre-cut to the right size, but I haven't measured yet because I was trying to get all this done. So see now, because we've left slots, I have a slot there and I have a slot here. Now if you forgot on either one and you accidentally put your ribbon through, they're the same size slots, you'll have another one. Because sometimes, you know, especially if you're doing this with friends, because when we do it as a team and I send them all their packets, we will be doing it via Zoom. We don't create all the cards together. But you know, if you're talking with friends, my club members also get a discount together. Oh, come on. Take shove it through. So at least that nice little pocket. There we go. And yours will be cut the right length. So just pull this around. It's about that long. It's nice when all of your stuff comes. It's kind of like paper pumpkin-ish, where it's all ready. And the nice thing is, the reason I like to get it to you nice and early, so it's about that long, is so you can see everything, because it makes a huge difference to be able to see it in person. This paper in the catalog, when you just see snippets of it, you may think it's not your thing, or you may think it's your thing, and then you get it and you're like, yeah, I really don't like those colors. But this way you can try it. That's where I got the name from. Just try it all out, see what you love. It really helps with the embellishments. It helps with the ribbon to kind of have the feel for it. So I just cut that apart because as a whole, it was too big for this. Now, remember these little things, that all this fun stuff we have in here. I'm gonna go ahead and use just this for this. My other one, I did use glue. But you need to, if you're gonna use glue on these, you need to leave the doors open long enough that it doesn't glue when you stick these down. But I'll open my other one up and you can see it in a second. Now I'm gonna tie this. I'm just gonna tie it in a bow. You don't need to, the person would have to pull pretty hard to get that ribbon to come out, but I like that it's loose in there. There's enough for a bow. This ribbon ties really nicely. It's got a nice, it's textured, as the name implies. Got a nice feel to it. And then you will want to poke these out. And then I added my two-way glue and I slid this down underneath so I would know kind of where the ribbon was. And then I also took my two-way glue, and see, you can kind of poke this up like that and gently put it in there, because this isn't touching, and then lay that in there. That way you know where it's going to kind of be with the card. And then you'll have 3 of the embellishments you can see, and I just put them here. So I'll show you the finished one. Here it is, all nice and glued together. So here's the 3. You can see this is now dry, this is dry. So everything is where it goes. And then well, maybe my cat was up here on the table and I think that she messed with, she was playing with the ribbon. So I think this probably, it's kind of glued. So just untie that. Now I have to decide when I take it to my husband, I kind of maybe like no border. I think it's nicer with no border. So it'll probably be like this. But see the little, and then this is in here. Then you have room for a sentiment. This had a label, and I was gonna do a label, but then I thought it doesn't even really need it. But I love the way that it has like the extra places. You could put a gift card, you could write extra little notes, you could stamp if you have this set. If you have any other past daisy sets, then you could put that in there too. But now this is all like where it needs to be when you do your ribbon. I'll just add another touch of glue and then put it someplace where she can't nibble on the ribbon. So if you're interested in the Try It class, the registration will close a little bit before the end of April if it doesn't fill up. There's only so many packets that we can make logistically, space-wise, and this time I'm gonna figure out how much I think that we can get cut in the amount of time that we have. So my club members get a discount, my team members get it for free, and then I'm gonna cut it off at the number that I think that we can handle. So I thought about opening it back up after we get home, but I kind of want new catalog to be over when we get back from Europe and kind of be done and start summer fresh. So if you're interested, get signed up. It's a really fun class and it's easy to do. And I go back and refer to past PDFs all the time, and I kind of just mix with the templates, and they're fun. And it stretches my mind too, trying to come up with the new stuff all the time. So tomorrow I will have a card. My daughter will have a card. I will post a link to her YouTube channel. I think she'll probably use the monkey. And I've had a lot of requests for the balloons. So I'm gonna do something with the balloon set. I'm kind of running out of time. All the days get away from It seems like. Everybody have a great day. And if you're on my email list, you will get an email that has the link to the Try It class. Otherwise, you can find it down below this video. Have a great one, guys. Bye.